Hello YouTube, thought I'd do a quick video here. I got this set up, and I really believe this is a good prepper's doomsday setup. I think it's more versatile than just a straight mobile because you can pop the handheld off this and use it, or you can use it with the amplifier. So that gives you kind of a two-in-one type of situation here. I built this holder. This is all on one piece now. See? I can grab this whole thing and I can throw it in a car. I can throw it in the backyard and hook up an antenna, put the magnetic antenna on a metal pizza pan. Yeah, I can, like I said, I can take the handheld off, just use the handheld. This baby here I think is a real good setup. Now what I did was I just took a piece of thick wood for weight, so this doesn't tip easy. Some scrap wood I had. I made this holder with sheet metal and then some wood. And what I did there is I took some the battery eliminator that I have on this Retevis RT85 handheld. It's not really a Retevis battery eliminator, but it worked fine for it. So I took the battery clip off a battery and I put it on the battery eliminator. So what I did was, then this way, this can't move. There's blocks here that are like this on each side that keeps this thing from moving. And doing that with the blocks gave me enough thickness to mount the screws in here. And then obviously I used a piece of sheet metal because let me move this. When we screw in the bracket that came with I got the bracket upside down that comes with the amplifier. You need thin metal to be able to screw it in. Screw that bracket, screw this in here. So I used sheet metal, and then I took a piece of thin wood so the battery clip could clip on here. And then I mounted side pieces on this, figure out what width I need so that this thing doesn't move. The volume's right here, easy to get to. The only thing I wish I would have done was I wish I would have made this bracket here a little bit higher because it's a little tricky trying to get that clip off. Not a big deal. I can just pop these screws off and get this radio off. I should have left a little more space there to undo this. That's what I should have done. But here's what it kind of looks like. Let's pop the battery limiter. Let's unplug the power. Let's pop the battery limiter off here. And that's how I did that. There's the clip. Yeah, like I said, I should have left a little more space because the clip really hooks on really good. But these blocks keep this from moving, so the radio won't slide around, whether it's in a vehicle or whatever else. So yeah, it works really well. Let me get this back on. Of course, doing this one hand's not easy. There we go. But anywho, I bought this dual at Walmart. I soldered on a nice long cord so I can plug this into a cigarette lighter in a vehicle, or I could get another one of these sockets and hook it direct to a battery if you want to do it like you're out in the woods type of situation. But remember, the amp's going to suck quite a bit of power, so keep that in mind. So you could do it any way you want. I just wanted one cord, so now when I plug this into my power supply and we got everything all hooked up, I've had someone ask me too, and I didn't know the exact. This puts out on high power 5.18 watts. That's what's feeding the amplifier. I get about 30, let's try here once, 32 watts out. Radio check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I get about 32 watts out. So I know this setup is working really well. So if I plug this into a car or a truck cigarette lighter and I don't get the wattage out, that tells me the wiring in that vehicle is not really good enough to handle the current draw. So then you'd have to either get another socket and hook it direct to the battery through a fuse, of course. So doing this test setup, I know everything's working fine before I plug it into a vehicle. So if my wattage drops when I plug it in, then I know there's something wrong. Like I said, they might use too small of a gauge of wire in the cigarette lighter in the vehicle. That'd probably be the most case where it would cause a wattage loss. There's a fuse in here. So there's a fuse in here. I also got the amplifier comes with a fuse. You can't see that. There's a fuse on the amplifier, another one there. That comes with it. There's also a fuse inside this that goes to the Retevis. There's a fuse in this. So it's all fused. It's all good and safe. I used poster board to make templates for my sheet metal. See how I did that? And I found the hole, and so that's what I did there. Again, I used the blocks in thin wood so that the clip of the battery can clip on it. And this thing is solid. It ain't going nowhere. I mean, I got the meter hooked up now, but let me do this. Let me unhook this. Let's turn this off. Let's unhook this meter. And there's easy enough room here to unscrew antennas. Let's unhook this meter here. Okay. So now this thing here, now we can pick it up. We can show you how this thing is. Put everything all back here. I got the wire for the control wire going underneath. I got everything all nice and neat. I can quickly unplug it if I don't want to. If I need to take this apart, I can take this apart without no tools. I can easily take this all apart and unplug all this. So, but I can throw this. Let's pick this up. I can throw this, like I said, in a truck on the dash, out my backyard with a 12-volt battery with a Magnum mount antenna on a cookie sheet. Of course, check your SWRs. But this ain't bad. This is two things in one. This is actually better than a mobile, in my opinion, because I got a handheld I can use. So if I'm in a pinch and I need to quickly use the handheld, I can unhook this, put the handheld antenna back on, put the battery back in the handheld. No tools required to unscrew these and take this bracket off. Like I said, works really well. You're probably wondering, how am I doing the repeater part of this? Let me screw this back on. I have a simplex repeater. It's off camera that you can't really see. And I have the handheld that's on this. Hold on, let me get this. I have the handheld programmed, obviously, to the repeater frequency. And I have another handheld that's hooked up to the computer running simplex software over there that records my voice and plays it back. I'm using the Retevis repeater. I have the handheld over there programmed to the Retevis repeater, and then that's what's playing all this back through here. So let's get everything all hooked up. We'll play it here. You can see how it sounds. And the bracket that comes with the amplifier, I like this look. It's clean. It's enough for airflow. You can easily take the handheld off. I think this is, I was going to put this in a box, but I think this is better. And we'll do a quick test, the volume here. So, radio check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sounds real good. Sounds real good. So I think for you Doomsdays preppers out there, I think this is a good setup. This is a 2-in-1, does about 32 watts. That's pretty good. Yeah, some mobiles can do 50 watts, but like I said, you got a handheld you can use in a pinch. Now remember too, like I said in my video, this amplifier's got to be on. If you turn this thing off or unplug the power, the signal will not go through. So keep that in mind. So you won't get nothing coming through. You need this amplifier on, and of course plugged in, obviously, to have it on, to get the received signal to come through it. If you're going to use the amplifier, obviously if you're just going to use the handheld, then you don't need the amplifier. But make sure you don't turn this off. Don't turn this off thinking that you can still transmit. You can't. You have to physically unhook this radio, unhook the antenna, and just unhook it. You cannot just turn this off and have it go through. It won't work that way. So just to make sure you're aware of that. So at any rate, I hope you guys like this. And like I said, this will give you some ideas. It was real simple. I just used piece of wood I had here, sheet metal. You want it thin because you got to screw it in. So make templates out of poster board. That's what I did. And like I said, it seems to work pretty good. I will be doing a distance test with this setup. I'm waiting for my mount antenna. Should coming in hopefully next couple days. So hopefully next week, if all goes well, I will be putting this in a car just like the way you see it on a magnet mount. We're going to see how good this works. So if you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. Please subscribe. Thank you and have a good day.